My name is Estelle from Portland. And when I was very young and they were building Lloyd Center Mall, I remember my dad taking us as close as he could to the construction site where they were building the mall, pointing down the way right in front of us and saying, and down there, there's going to be an ice skating ring. And I just thought, wow, I can't believe it. Imagine an ice skating ring in Portland. I was so excited. And to this day, I can hear my dad's voice, and I can remember the excitement of that moment.
The Lloyd Center Mall in Northeast Portland holds a special place in many of our hearts. When OPB asked people to share their memories of the mall, we got dozens of voicemails.
This is Tim from Portland. I remember as a kid driving into Portland from Hood River with my family, and the Lloyd Center was definitely big doings. And I remember as a little kid, I would go up to the second floor that overlooked the ice rink, and I would get a caramel apple. And I would stand there and watch the skaters, and my family could go up and do whatever they needed to do. I was just riveted by the skaters and the caramel apple and the smells. I was over at the Lloyd Center the other day, and I stood above the ice rink, and I swear the smell took me right back to that time as a kid.
My name is Peggy. In 1960, when Lloyd Center opened, my mother entered a contest to come up with a slogan for Lloyd Center. The winner of the contest, the slogan was, "It never rains at Lloyd Center." And my mother came in second place with the slogan, "East-West, Lloyd's is best." She was given, I believe, 50 tickets to go see It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. And they also provided a school bus for her to take that many people to see the movie. I was 4 years old at the time, and I went along.
Hi, my name is Ron Campbell. I met my wife, Denise, at Lloyd Center Mall in the ice skating rink back in 1985. And we were high school sweethearts, and this year we will celebrate our 26th wedding anniversary. And I cannot believe they are tearing down that mall.
From the Gert Boyle studio, I'm Jen Chavez, and this is The Evergreen, a podcast from OPB about the place you call home. As you probably heard, the Lloyd Center Mall is scheduled to close for good this summer. And the current owners do plan to tear it down to build a new mixed-use development in its place. We will explore the future of the Lloyd Center property on another episode of The Evergreen. Today, we want to look back at its storied history.
Hi, my name is Leslie Montag, and I'm in Lake Oswego. It was a big deal in 1960 when our mom took my sisters and me to the grand opening of the Lloyd Center. Governor Hatfield cut the ribbon, and Ella Fitzgerald sang "A Tisket, a Tasket." I was 12 years old.
A tisket, a tasket, a brown and yellow basket.
The mall opened on August 1st, 1960. It was an open-air mall back then. The roof wasn't added until about 3 decades later. It was called the biggest shopping center in the world. Even though it did rain on opening day, a big crowd came out for the festivities. An estimated 5,000 people were there.
It must have been fun.
Carl Abbott is a professor emeritus of urban studies and planning at Portland State University.
There were speeches. Governor Mark Hatfield made a speech, and the Oregonian reported that was thankfully very short. Terry Shrunk made another speech, and then Terry Shrunk, mayor of Portland, pulled some kind of lever or string and released 700 homing pigeons. You got to picture it. They're going to take news of the mall to places all over the Northwest so that shoppers would soon know to come flocking back.
The Lloyd Center concept was decades in the making.
The original idea came from California oil investor Ralph Lloyd back in the 1920s, who put California money into Portland real estate and had plans for major development in that Lloyd district back in the 1930s, which of course the Depression put on hold, and then World War II. So it It's actually part of the long heritage of trying to develop East Side real estate.
Whether or not the mall was the biggest in the world when it opened is up for debate. Even if that was the case, it didn't hold on to that title for very long. There is one thing that has always made the Lloyd Center stand out, though.
Hi, this is Monica calling from Lebanon, Oregon. Growing up in Portland, Lloyd Center was iconic for me. It's where I learned how to ice skate. My dad used to take me there for daddy-daughter dates. I remember buying one of my first outfits in the gift shop there and always being excited for red vines. So above all else, that ice rink is what I will miss from the bottom of my heart and be so sad that I can't share with my children.
Countless people learned to skate at the Lloyd Center rink, including controversial former Olympian Tonya Harding. Back in 1960, it was the first ice rink in a shopping center. It attracted more than 1 million visitors in the first 2 years after it opened. It's still the only year-round skating option in Portland. A different Tonya March, has been driving the ice resurfacer at the rink for over a decade.
If people throw things when I'm on the ice, it's a challenge. I remember one time asking them all if they could ask all the food court to use black silverware instead of white silverware. I've never been laughed at more in my life. I'll never ask again. But it's because it was harder to see.
The vehicle she uses is an Engo, not a Zamboni, and it's all electric. She says it can be nerve-wracking to drive the boxy vehicle around the oval-shaped rink in front of a crowd of skaters eager to get back on the ice.
Have you ever had your dad watch you parallel park? That's what it feels like during Christmas when you have 400 people staring at you and you're like, any little mistake, you overthink it.
The mall has changed ownership a few times. The company that took over in 2014 did a multi-million-dollar remodel that added a spiral staircase and reduced the size of the ice rink. But that didn't stop people from skating.
My name is Alistair Koch, and I live very close to the Lloyd Center. I was so thrilled when I moved here because I'm an avid figure skating and adult figure skater, and I loved going to, and still love going to, the Lloyd Center ice rink. Even though it has been reduced in size, it's still been a wonderful place to skate. I have my lessons there. I have wonderful friends and colleagues who skate there, so it'll be very sad to see this rink go when the mall closes.
A little-known part of Lloyd Center history is that in 1972, the mall was at the center of a legal battle over the First Amendment that went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court.
The petitioner, Lloyd Corporation, is the owner of a number of pieces of land divided by public streets in Portland, Oregon, used as a shopping center and known generally as Lloyd Center in Portland, Oregon.
Attorney George Black argued the case for the Lloyd Corporation. The case was originally filed in district court by Donald Tanner. Tanner and some other protesters had been distributing flyers, or handbills, against the Vietnam War inside the mall and were asked to leave by mall security. They argued that the mall had violated their right to free speech. The district court ruled in their favor, as did the appeals court. When the mall's owners took the case to the Supreme Court, Carl Neal made oral arguments on behalf of Tanner and his fellow protesters.
It's a question of whether the Lloyd Corporation may flatly and completely, totally prohibit free speech, or any kind of free speech that it doesn't approve or doesn't like, on its own interior malls and walkways when they are, as the district court found, the functional equivalents of public sidewalks in the public business district.
In a 5-4 decision, the court found that the protesters were not entitled to distribute their flyers inside the mall because they could just as easily do so on the public sidewalk right outside. Justice Lewis Powell, writing for the majority, said that equating public property with private property intended for public use was, quote, reaching too far. But that didn't keep protesters out of the mall. More than 4 decades later, I recorded a huge Black Lives Matter protest that took place at Lloyd Center on Black Friday 2015.
We are occupying! Lloyd Center! Because Black lives matter! More than Black Friday!
The protest was organized by the group Don't Shoot Portland, and it was huge. It began as a rally at Holiday Park nearby. Then protesters marched through Northeast Portland before entering the mall. And I remember that the mall was packed when they showed up because, of course, it was one of the biggest shopping days of the year. The demonstrators came in near the skating rink, and hundreds of people craned over balconies to watch, listen, and record them. It was over 10 years ago, but from what I remember, mall security didn't ask anyone to leave. Protesters took escalators up and down and circled through all 3 stories of the mall. They held a moment of silence honoring victims of police violence and then marched out. There were no arrests and no property damage. As I mentioned, the mall property has changed hands a few times over the years. Bob Dye was the general manager at Lloyd Center in 2015 as it was undergoing that big renovation.
People still want to be able to see and touch what they're buying. Brick and mortar retail is not going anywhere.
In some sense, that's true, but not exactly the way Bob envisioned it. Over the next few years, the mall's anchor stores, Nordstrom, Sears, Marshalls, closed one by one. The last ones standing were Macy's and JCPenney, and those stores closed during the COVID-19 pandemic. But over the past decade, Portlanders have found creative ways to use the mall's empty spaces. Coming up after a break, we'll hear how indie retailers and community groups took over Lloyd Center. Thanks for listening to The Evergreen, our podcast from OPB about the place you call home. We would love to hear your Lloyd Center memories or what you think should happen to the space after the mall closes. You can record a voice memo and send it to us or write us an email. Either way, send it to theevergreen@opb.org. If you like this episode and want more stories about the places that make up the Pacific Northwest, from natural wonders to shopping centers, subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app, and we'll brighten your Monday morning a little bit with something new and exciting to listen to each week. And before we get back to the show, I just want to give a quick correction about a couple of details in our episode from last week, the Oregon roots of rock and roll. We mentioned a guitar solo in the song Louie Louie by the Kingsmen and said it was played by band member Lynn Eastwood. But his name was Lynn Easton, and Easton was actually the band's drummer at the time, not the guitarist. Thanks to the sharp ears of our listener Janice Choi Weber for helping us realize our mistake. We also realized we'd mispronounced singer Jack Ely's last name. We fixed these details once we found out, and we regret the error. And now, back to the mall.
Hi, this is Hannah from Portland, Oregon. My memories of Lloyd Center. I used to go there as a middle schooler with friends on the weekend, and we'd walk around, very lively, buy little things at the different stores, get food at the food courts, people watch. And then in my high school years, I had a job at Lloyd Center, worked there for many years in high school, college, and thereafter. And it was a community area with lots of people from the neighborhood, seeing people that I grew up with. Until now, I don't even want to go to Lloyd Center anymore. It just seems like it's fallen apart and it's dead.
It is slated to be destroyed, yes. But the mall has actually been filled with activity in the years leading up to its demolition.
I talked to somebody the other day who said, I love this because it's in the mall.
Diane Conrad is an actor who played the lead role of Winnie in Samuel Beckett's Happy Days in 2023.
It's nonlinear. It's poetic. It's intensely emotional. The highs and lows of the amusement park ride that Winnie's on go very fast, and you don't see the turns coming. So it's a real visceral experience.
The production was put on by the Northwest Classical Theater Collaborative, an organization that specialized in performing in non-traditional spaces.
Like if I called a mall in New York, they would just tell me to go away. But it's like, here, I called the Lloyd Center, and they're like, that sounds great. We would love to help you with that.
Patrick Walsh directed the play.
You know, I got a tour of kind of all the spaces that were available. And when I went into Victoria's Secret, this big gust of wind kind of comes at you because nobody's been in there in a while. And you just walk in, and I was like, oh, God, this is perfect.
That's right. They performed an absurd tragicomedy in a space that was once devoted to uncomfortable underwear and unattainable beauty standards.
So we've really transformed the entire space, but we're not trying to hide it's a Victoria's Secret at all.
That is far from the most whimsical thing that's happened at Lloyd Center over the past few years.
I'm tired of hearing that the Lloyd Center is dead. It's not dead. It's like, go on a walk with us on a Sunday and tell me it's dead. It's not.
Last year, Portlander Krista Catwood started something she calls the Food Court 5000.
So the Food Court 5000 is a weekly retro mall walking group. It's free. Anybody can join. And we meet up at the food court at Lloyd Center Mall. And we start at the top. We do a lap around the top, the middle, bottom floor, then do it all over again. It's 3.5 miles. So music is blaring. Outfits are highly encouraged, but not required. And so we've got folks dressed to the nines from 8 years old to 80 years old, like a neon wacky train chugging through the mall.
She says she started this weekly exercise routine as a way to motivate herself. And she's clearly on a mission to bring joy to as many people as possible along the way.
So as we're walking along, we're waving at the shop owners. We're waving at unsuspecting mall patrons. We're waving at kids. We're cheering on the kids as they're sliding down the slide in the play area. And it just makes you feel good. And it's fun to watch people get surprised at what's going on and the look on their face. And most of the time, it's a good surprise.
According to Krista Catwood, the Lloyd Center is the perfect venue for some joyful absurdity.
I think the Lloyd Center is in a magical, very, very, very special era that is totally unique to her. I don't know how she identifies, but we'll call her she. It's a state of transition. The anchor stores are largely gone. It's filled with nonprofits, local businesses. There's very few chains left. There's lots of empty space that you can rent for about $350 for the whole day and hold events there. And it just feels like a third space that's accessible for whoever really wants to get in there.
In this magical era, Lloyd Center hosts regular gatherings for buying, selling, and trading Pokemon cards, sports memorabilia, and zines. There are Beyblade battles, competitions involving colorful Japanese spinning tops, and until very recently, a monthly meetup for yo-yo enthusiasts.
This is Marcia. I grew up in Northeast Portland, and I remember going to the Nordstrom store, and I recall the fact that there was a cage that held a monkey in it at the children's shoe end. So we used to have fun feeding the monkey or watching its antics while we were getting fitted for shoes.
Thankfully, there are no monkeys in cages at the Lloyd Center anymore. Instead, you might find kids learning survival skills in the space that used to be the Marshall's department store.
This is where we're going to have our archery range.
Tony Dice is the founder of Trackers Earth, a summer camp that teaches kids all kinds of skills, from archery and axe throwing to blacksmithing and woodworking. For a lot of their camps, they bus kids out to train in the outdoors. But a couple of years ago, they decided to start some indoor camps as well.
Base camp kids are here all day, but they have a little bit shorter day. And the base camp, like this entire area will be martial arts mats and a martial arts studio.
The mall location serves as a drop-off and pickup spot for those outdoor campers as well. So on a typical summer weekday, hundreds of kids are coming through this Trackers Camp location.
We have a camp called Mystery Trackers, Ghost Ghouls and Meddling Kids, so if there's ghosts down here, that will be useful for that camp.
Since they moved in 3 years ago, Trackers has been increasingly creative with their use of the 18,000 square foot space, such as epic Nerf battles featuring different areas with different themes. And the air conditioning is a nice feature when extreme heat or wildfire smoke makes being outside less fun.
My name's Kevin Johnson, and I'm calling from Swan Island in Portland. And what I remember about Lloyd Center is the song in the commercials in the 1990s. Lloyd Center in the center of the city. Lloyd Center in the center of the city. Lloyd Center has it all.
Your headquarters for the best selection in men's ties, wallets, jewelry, socks, and all your gift and accessory needs. For friendly service, shop Tie Bar.
Lloyd Center, the center of it all.
Okay, so maybe it's not the center of it all anymore. But Lloyd Center provided cheap rent and 24/7 security for local businesses at a critical time coming out of the pandemic. Jason Levian moved his shop, Floating World Comics, to the mall from Old Town Chinatown in 2022. He says he got the idea from Tony Rempel, the owner of a record store called Musique Plastique that relocated to the mall around that same time.
I saw his Instagram post. And of course, my first reaction was like, I didn't even know the Lloyd Center was still open. So I contacted him and asked him how it was going. And he says, it's going great so far. Like, we're a destination spot. Our customers are coming and finding us. We're doing shows here. We're having like weekly DJ parties. And the Lloyd Center is all for it. They're just letting us, have these great parties because they just want to bring more people in. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to come down there tomorrow and take a look.
Jason said on those early visits, he was looking for reasons not to move. But he was pleasantly surprised.
And actually, I just kept getting more excited the more that I came here, and I couldn't stop thinking about it to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I think I'm actually going to do this, and I think we can make this work.
4 years later, Floating World Comics is still at the Lloyd Center, at least for now. And they're not alone. Jared Jones is the manager of Brickdiculous.
And we are a Lego shop and gallery, and we do new and used Lego stuff and bring in kids and adults and all sorts of different Lego lovers.
He says he thinks the shop draws in more customers than they would as a standalone store outside the mall.
We'll get, mall browsers. We'll get people who are in for the ice skating, or people who are in to buy shoes or to buy a birthday or Christmas present or a book from the bookstore. And we'll get people who didn't know we existed.
Tattoo artist Olivia Britz-Wheat says the mall's uncertain future was actually sort of freeing for her when she decided to open up her shop.
Having this opportunity be potentially not my forever home made it actually easier for me to make decisions and for me to be like, yeah, why not? Let's try it and see how it goes. It's been an incredible opportunity to learn how to run a business and to learn how to manage people and to build a following and to host events and stuff like that. So even if I'm moving out the day that my lease is up, I feel like this is an incredible experience.
Olivia already relocated her tattoo shop, Mortal Emblem, to a location in Southeast Portland. The other tenants know their leases will not be renewed this year. The mall is scheduled to close in August, 66 years after it opened. Lloyd Center was still deeply in debt from the 2015 remodel when the pandemic hit. That pushed the mall into foreclosure. KKR Real Estate Financial Trust took ownership in late 2021 and brought on Seattle-based developer Urban Renaissance Group to help revitalize the mall and figure out its future.
The only decision that we've made and announced publicly about the future of Lloyd Center is that there will be an ice rink.
That was Urban Renaissance Group's managing director, Tom Kilbane, back in 2023. Sadly, the plans have changed. Earlier this year, the Portland Design Commission voted unanimously to approve the redevelopment plans, which do not include an ice rink.
Our plan delivers thousands of new housing units, affordable and market rate,
when and where they're needed most. Our plan creates active retail storefronts and vibrant community gathering places, all within walking distance of public transit. Our plan includes more than 6 acres of parks, walkways, and public open space for Portlanders to enjoy.
That's Tom Kilbane earlier this year at a Portland Design Commission hearing. He told the commission that the new design could include seasonal ice skating, but that is not the same as a year-round rink. Some Portlanders are pushing back.
The Lloyd Center rink is the most accessible rink.
Jenny Gilmore Robinson's daughter, Alice, is a figure skater. Jenny is one of the organizers behind the Save Lloyd Ice Coalition.
It's the only rink that's actually accessible by public transportation. If you remove that, then there are going to be so many kids and families who are not going to be able to skate. You'll be removing their access to this sport.
The Save Lloyd Ice Coalition and another group called Save Lloyd are appealing the approval process, and the Portland City Council is scheduled to hear their appeals on June 24th. Whatever happens, OPB will continue to cover the future of the Lloyd Center, and we'll always have our memories.
My name's Rebecca Field. When I was growing up over in Northeast Portland, Lloyd Center was such a wonderful place to go to, and I went ice skating there almost every Saturday. It was so much fun. It was always crowded, and the Christmas tree was always beautiful at Christmas, and it was just a wonderful, lively place to go when you were a kid and a teenager. My grandmother worked there. My sister worked there. It was a community place.
You can see all of OPB's coverage of Lloyd Center's past, present, and future at opb.org. Thank you for listening to The Evergreen, a podcast from OPB. Julie Sabatier produced this episode, and our technical director is Stephen Cray. Layla Isbell mixed and mastered the episode. The OPB podcast team also includes Mia Estrada and Sage Van Wing. Lillian Kerbake, Dave Miller, and Joni Auden-Land did the interviews you heard. Kyra Buckley recorded the Portland Design Commission meeting where Tom Kilbane spoke. The footage you heard from the 2015 Lloyd Center protest was recorded by me and originally aired on my old local news show, The 5 Quadrants of Portland, on independent radio station X-Ray FM. The music in this episode is from Audio Network. And if you have a question for us, please reach out. Email us at theevergreen@opb.org. I'm Jen Chavez. Catch you later.
So far away, forsaken and remote, lies the lonely suburban center, the crickets, cows, and the goat. But in the center of the